Hi friends! Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca. My husband Murphy and I travel full-time in our 1969 Volkswagen bus. So today I wanted to share with you a little bit about my skincare and beauty routine while living in the bus. I will start by saying this was not the video that I was going to make this week. I wanted to share with you our trip up the Pacific Coast Highway. However, we have just barely begun that journey. We were a little delayed in getting started. When we left Joshua Tree, we drove into Palm Springs and there was like crazy rainstorms happening in Palm Springs, like emergency flood warnings. The roads are closed, they're full of puddles. It was like mayhem. And I'll say, being from the Northeast, like I was not used to this at all. I'm used to it just raining and then the rain absorbs into the ground and like that's it. I learned, however, that does not happen in the desert. So anyways, we're delayed for a little bit, waiting for roads to open back up. Finally we get through, and on the other side of the rainstorm is like a crazy windstorm, like high gust desert winds, and it's like a crosswind coming across the bus as we're trying to drive, so it's like pushing us to the side. But as we're driving, some of the wind somehow gets like underneath the pop top and rips one of the brackets out that holds the pop top down. So we hear this like loud crash, the pop top starts like flapping. I run to the back, I pull down the pop top to hold it as Murphy pulls over, and then he takes some paracord to like rig it up and tie it down to at least hold it so that we can keep driving a little bit. So get it all rigged up. It's fine for the time being, and we continue on to Ventura, California. We get to Ventura, and luckily in Ventura is the place where we bought the bus. It's called VW Classics. So we go back there and we're like, hey, we're looking for a new bracket for the pop top. He happened to have one that he was willing to give to us, thankfully, so we hooked that up. They also were able to replace a rear drum for us that we've been wanting to do for a while. So we get all fixed up and we keep going. So we start up the PCH and the pop top is still flapping all around. Like the canvas is filling with wind as we're driving, like something is not right. So we pull over again and realize that the bracket on the other side had also pulled out of the pop top. So we're on the driver's side, like the bracket broke, this one like it just ripped totally off. So we got that one fastened back in, and I think we're good to go now. All that to say, the video about the PCH is still coming. It's just a little delayed. Okay, so let's get started. In the spectrum of people, I would classify myself sort of on the low maintenance end, but definitely not no maintenance. So when moving into the bus, I wanted a skincare and beauty routine that was quick, relatively simple, and used just a few products. You never really know what your mirror or bathroom situation is going to be, so you don't want to be lugging around a ton of products. You want to keep it pretty simple. I also like to be pretty mindful and gentle with the things I put on and in my body. So I try and use things that are chemical free, natural, cruelty free, whenever possible. All right, let's start with skincare. I will say that I grew up in Massachusetts and I spent a ton of time outside. I lived on the beach in the summertime, had a ton of sun exposure, and then mixed with harsh, windy winters, my skin has been through a lot. So these days I try and be very protective of my skin and very gentle with it. So I start each morning by patting just warm water on my face. I don't use soap, just warm water seems to do the trick in terms of cleansing my skin. And then I will slather it in coconut oil. So I use this Dr. Bronner's coconut oil, just a little bit on my face and neck. And when you first put it on, it like feels a little bit greasy, but at least on my skin, once it's on there for like a minute or a minute and a half, it starts to soak in. So shiny. And you're just left with really soft feeling skin. And that's really all I do in terms of like products on my skin. I do get dry lips, and I'll put some shea butter on my lips every once in a while, and I'll link all the products that I use down below. But other than that, I try not to put much else on my skin, just coconut oil and some warm water each morning. That said, there are a number of other lifestyle habits that I've adopted that I would consider part of a skincare routine, and most of it has to do with like what I'm putting in my body. So the first thing is I drink a lot of water. So if you watch my videos, you know that this jar is like always by my side. I try and drink between 2.5 and 3 of these a day. There's usually about 30 ounces of water in each one that I drink. So drinking a ton of water has not always been an easy habit for me. Anybody who knew me like as a teenager and in my 20s knows that I never drank water, but I have found that drinking more water has really helped my skin. It just looks a little bit clearer, softer, and a little bit healthier. So the next thing that's really helped my skin is eating a bunch of dark leafy greens. That can be a challenge in the bus only because keeping an abundance of produce is difficult when you don't have a giant refrigerator to keep it in. So I do use this. It's amazing grass green superfood. So I will add this to like a smoothie. I have on occasion drank it just dissolved in water. It's not that good. But if you're in a pinch and you really feel like you need some greens, you can definitely like dissolve this in water. So this has like wheatgrass, barley grass, spirulina, broccoli, spinach, alfalfa, like so many good things in it. So I try and incorporate this in my diet whenever I can. So the last thing, I don't know if I can totally recommend this yet, so I just started drinking moon juice. So this is a vegan collagen blend. It's made from mushrooms. I've been putting it either in a smoothie in the morning. I've also stirred it into oatmeal. It's virtually flavorless, which I really, really like. And it's supposed to be great for both skin health, but also ligament and tendon health. So I've only been using it for about a week. I don't know if it's making a difference quite yet, but I will keep you guys posted. All right, so let's talk a little bit about makeup. When I first moved into the bus, I wasn't really wearing any makeup. I was like, there's no need to, I don't care, whatever. And I know that a lot of females who are living in vans and buses forego makeup altogether because it's just kind of a pain in the butt to take on and off. That said, wearing makeup I have found makes me feel a little bit better. Especially when we're traveling a lot and on the go a lot, there'll be a long stretch of time where I'm just wearing pajamas and not showering, and I don't feel like a functioning, beautiful human. Like, for instance, in my pajamas right now, straight up sweatpants, I've been wearing them for like 3 days. So I began to reintroduce some makeup back into my routine just to feel a little bit better, just to feel a little bit more vibrant and alive and beautiful. So after I wash my face with warm water and put some coconut oil on, I'll let that absorb for a couple minutes, and then I primarily use 2 makeup products. So the first is an under eye concealer. This is made by Everyday Minerals. I do tend to have some dark circles under my eyes. It's just my plight in life. I've had them since I was a kid. So this goes a long way into making me look like I am awake and didn't get punched in the face. So I'll just put a little bit of that under my eyes. I'll usually just like smear it in with my finger or a brush. And then the second product that I'll use is Mineral Fusion Mascara. I would show you the label, but it wore off. I think I may need to replace this. So I'll just throw a little bit of mascara on and it makes me feel good. Just a quick sidebar, if you are looking for non-toxic skincare and makeup products, a great resource is the Environmental Working Group website, ewg.org. There's a section on there called Skin Deep. You can enter in the product that you're looking at or one that you've already purchased, and it'll give you a rating in terms of toxicity. So it's really helpful when you're trying to evaluate different products to purchase. All right, so let's talk about hair care. So my routine might be a little bit different than yours just because I don't have traditional brushable hair. My hair's obviously in dreadlocks. What I do is wash my hair once a week. So while dreadlocks are pretty low maintenance, washing it takes a little bit of time. So I use, look at this. It's like frozen. We're in California and it's still cold. I use the Dolly Locks Lavender shampoo. I'll usually use like 5 or 6 squirts of this in my hand, rub it into my scalp, so you don't really need to like go all the way down the dreadlock. I found that just like rubbing it onto my scalp and then letting it sort of rinse through the rest of the hair is the best way to go for me. So I'll rub it in and then I'll rinse and rinse and rinse. So the rinsing is actually what takes forever. You don't want any residue to stay in your dreadlocks, so you want to make sure you're rinsing everything out. So I'll take small sections, like maybe 5 or 6 of my dreads at once, and just rinse it through, like let the water run down and then squeeze, 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 squeeze. So that's what takes so much time, is I'll just rinse and rinse and rinse. So you want to rinse until the water runs completely clear. And then after I've washed them, I usually stand in the shower. So dreads are like sponges, so they're just full of water. So I'll stand in the shower and I'll just squeeze all the way down and squeeze the other side. Keep squeezing, squeeze some more, shake them out, keep squeezing, squeeze, 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 still squeezing, and then I'll tie them up in a towel. And typically when I wash my hair, it will stay wet the rest of the day. So I like to shower like earlier in the day so that I can maybe get some sun on them. Hopefully they'll dry out before I go to bed. But it takes a lot of planning, especially when you have an outside lifestyle, because you don't want to be caught out in the cold with wet hair. And then in between washings, I use this, which is the Dolly Locks. What is it called? Conditioning oil. This oil. I'll just take that on my fingertips, rub it into my scalp, and it just feels really good. My head can get itchy from time to time. It's just not getting a lot of stimulation from like brushing or anything like that. So just to rub the oil in my head can feel really nice. And then in between washings, I'll usually do a little bit of palm rolling. So just like while we're driving or while I'm just like sitting around or whatever, I'll just take one and roll it between my palms. It just helps tuck some of like the loose hair and make it look a little bit neater. And then in terms of showering, if you watched my hygiene video, I will link it down below. You know, I shower about once a week. And when I shower, I use Dr. Bronner's lavender soap to wash my entire body except for my face. I do shave my legs and shave my armpits. Oh, actually, let me show you the razor that I use because I recommend it to everybody. Hold please. So I use a safety razor. So if you're looking to reduce your use of plastic and disposable things, I would definitely recommend a safety razor. So it just has like a standard razor blade inside that I replace like once every few weeks. It takes a little getting used to. I have cut myself a bunch of times trying to get used to using it, but it's worth it. This one I got on Amazon. Again, I'll link it down below. It's by Edwin Jagger. So again, I shave about once a week, usually when I shower, and also when I get out of the shower, I will use the same Dr. Bronner's coconut oil on my whole body. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I like to keep my beauty routine and skincare pretty simple. It's just what works for me when we're traveling full time. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. And I put out new videos every Tuesday, so make sure you subscribe to follow along with our travels. Bye friends! There's a tiny child playing soccer and very enthusiastic about it. So if you hear tiny screams, it's not me. On the spectrum of, so I wanted to relatively quick. I can't talk today. Lugging, but I can't talk. Hey, this is a bad start. Okay. So this has like wheatgrass, barley grass, spirulina.
You're right, you have fragrant scratch and sniff.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna start this whole thing over.